Okay, we are in Mishnah Berurah, Halachos Tisha Bav, Simin Saf Kof Nun Hey, on Tisha Bav afternoon right now. And we picked up, last year we learned the entire Simin Saf Kof Nun Dalet, so now we're going to start from Simin Saf Kof Nun Hey. The title of the Simin is Dinei Tefilin V'Tzitzis B'Tisha Bav Ubo Be'Sifin. The laws, the halachas of tefillin and tzitzis on Tisha Bav, and it has two sif. Sif Aleph. No hagin shelo lahaniach tefillin b'Tisha Bav shachris velo talis. The custom is not to wear tefillin on Tisha Bav for shachris in the morning and not a talis. When it says a talis, this is referring to a talis gadol, or just what nowadays is usually refers to as stam, a talis. When for Ashkenazim the minhag is to wear it when you get married for many reasons, that we don't wear it as bachrim, which we learned in Halachos and Ches. So what do we do? The Shulchan Aruch continues, Ela loivshim talis katan tachas begadim lo bracha. Rather, we wear the talis katan under our clothing without a bracha. Talis katan is referring to what we usually call tzitzis. The talis under the clothing. It's also a whole discussion wearing it on top of your beged or under. We generally wear it under our clothing. Chasidim wear it on top of their clothing. But the Shulchan Aruch says we wear it, the talis katan, under our clothing without a bracha. It's interesting because there's a steer in the Beis Yosef whether to wear it over your clothing or under. From over here you could bring a raya that you wear it under your clothing. Okay, anyways, ubemincha, so far so good. So we don't put on tefillin and our talis gadol in the morning. Rather, we wear the talis katan under our clothing without a bracha. Ubemincha manichim, we'll see what that means without a bracha. What's the case without a bracha? Is it always without a bracha? We'll see momentarily. Ubemincha manichin tzitzis utfilin umevarchin aleihem. And at the time of mincha, we put on our tzitzis. That's referring to the talis gadol. We put on the tzitzis utfilin, and we wear our tefillin umevarchin aleihem, and we make a bracha on them, meaning on the tzitzis and the tefillin. This is pretty much the only time that we put on tefillin at mincha. This is one of the only times. Okay, so let's see the Mishnah Berurah. Mishnah Berurah Sivkatan Aleph Dibar Maskal Nahagim Alpi HaMidrash. The Midrash says it's a pasuk in Eicha Perik Beis pasuk Yudzayin Bitza Imraso. He carried out Imraso, his saying or his decree. What does that mean? Biza Pur Piro Dilay. Biza is referring to that he tore. Pur Pira is referring to his beged, his garment. Delay is his garment. And the Mishnah Berurah explains what this midrash is referring to. Zeh ha-talis. This is referring to the talis. So that's why we don't put the talis on in the morning, because of this midrash. And also the pasuk says in Eicha, Perik Beis pasuk Alch, Hishlich mishamayim eretz teferis Israel. Throw from the skies teferis, the glory of the land of Israel. Zot tefillin. This is referring to tefillin. Okay, that's why we don't wear it. The Aruch HaShulchan over here in those bays brings a more logical reason, so to say, not just alpi drasha from a midrash. And he says that this is just similar to Avelis. And Avelis, we know the Gemara says in Brachos Yud Aleph Tazayin, also in Brachos, the recording Sukkah Chafei, many places, that an Avel, the first day of his Avelis, doesn't wear tefillin, V'acharisa ki yoimar, and he doesn't wear tefillin, it's Per Chavush Alecha. So this is similar to Avelis. So just like Avelis, we're not going to wear the tefillin. So too now, we're not going to wear the tefillin. This is Aruch HaShulchan over here. This Siminos Beis. It's Bekitzer, what he says. I just wrote Ayin Aruch HaShulchan. It's pretty much what he says. You look it up, you'll get the exact, wording that he uses. That's why we don't wear the tefillin in the morning. Pashtus, the Avelis decreases though after the morning, so we put it on already after Chatzos. Like we see, like right now, we're all sitting around the table. And we're not sitting on the ground, right? In other ways also it decreases. So that's Sivkatan Aleph. Sivkatan Beis, below Bracha. And when we put the talis katan on, it's without a Bracha. So it's an important Mishnah Berurah over here. Umikol makom im pashto belayla yesh amrim shesarach levarach ala baboker. Nevertheless, if you removed your talis katan, if you removed your tzitzis at night, there are those that say that you need to make a bracha on them in the morning, which means we're learning the Shulchan Aruch right now, this Pischei Olam, which the Sha'ar Tzion and Os Aleph quotes. The Mishnah Berurah is quoting a Yesh Amrim that if you remove the talis katan if you moved it in the morning, so before you went to sleep at night, before you went to sleep, then you put it back on in the morning, so then you need to make a bracha. So there's a lot that's said on this. Let's speak out one note on this first, which is a short, very important note. So Shlomo Zalman Auerbach says in the Halachos Shlomo on Tisha Bav in Perek Tezvav in the Orchos Halacha footnote 32 that he brings on Leil Tisha Bav Nahag Rabbeinu. They said that Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach had the following minhag, and also this is what he told the members of his house, the men. Shelo lifshot talis katan mishum safek bracha b'levishasa b'boker. He told them, don't remove your sittis because then you have a safek bracha whether to make the bracha or not. Which means because of this Mishnah and this Yesh Amrim, because the Mishnah is quoting Yesh Amrim to those that say that if you remove your talis katan before you go to sleep, so then you need to make a new bracha. So that's why Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach slept with his sittis on. Because if you sleep with your sittis on, for sure you don't need to make a bracha. Say that one more time.
Nice.
Yeah, everyone got it?
Nice. Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
In the morning.
So I'll tell you personally, last night I slept with my talis katan on. Usually I don't. It's a sugya, Rizal, Ramah. Usually I don't. Last night I did, so that I didn't have to make a bracha.
You said Modani?
When I woke up I said Modani. What does Modani have to...
You say Berachas Torah?
Yeah, what does that have to do with this? What does that have to do with tzitzis? Yeah.
Because you're thinking of Shavuos. You're thinking of
Shavuos is a different zach.
No, I'm saying...
stuff like that on Shavuos.
No, that's staying up all night. That's something else. I slept with my talis katan on, I got out of the bracha. Now what I did before mincha, right? Avram came up to me, he asked, what do we do? Avram said, you didn't make a bracha this morning on a tzitzis. What should I do? Should I make one at mincha or not? So what I did is I went up to someone that was making a bracha on their talis gadol, and I said, have me in mind when you put on your talis gadol, right? Because I don't wear talis gadol yet, I'm not married. So I said, have me in mind, right? When you make the bracha on your talis gadol, have me in mind, and I moved on my tzitzis after you mash.
What do you have to do about it?
Yeah, because why would you do that if you slept?
What do you need to do it?
But just to cover the whole basis, just in case you do need to make a bracha.
Why isn't sleep at night the hefsek? Even if you're wearing it, so what?
If you're wearing it, it's a hefsek.
Why isn't it a hefsek? Why is the sleep should be a hefsek?
Well, because you're wearing it the whole time, though, so you don't make a bracha.
You're sleeping.
Take it away. Even on a regular night, if you sleep with your tzitzis on, you don't make a new bracha on that in the morning because it was on you the whole time. It's regular din. Halachos tzitzis only if you change your beged, then you would. Only if you change your tzitzis, then you would.
Right, but what's the reason why you make a new bracha when you take it off and you put it back on? And if you change your baguette, why?
Because you haven't been wearing it for hours. It's a hefsek.
Yeah, but your mind is not aware of the fact that you're wearing it when you're sleeping.
It doesn't matter. It's still not considered hefsek. It's halachos tzitzis. It's halachos tzitzis.
What was the reason for the Yesh Amrim?
What's the reason for this Yesh Amrim? Pashtus is that the Yesh Amrim is gonna hold that if you moved it at night, then it was a hefsek, and then you need to make the bracha.
Why is it different than any other name? Why is it different than any other name?
Because over here we're discussing already not making the bracha in the morning to begin with. That's why it's different than a regular night. Now another point on this is, let's talk about Baruch Hashem. We have several people over here that are married. So what about if you're married? So what do you do in this case? So you could also do this Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach over here. That is that because when you're married, you don't make a bracha on your talis katan anymore. But the problem is, right, because you're so much on the bracha that you make on the talis gadol, so you make on the talis katan. The problem is that you're not making a bracha on the talis gadol till much later. So because of this tumult also, what you do is, Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, you sleep with it on, and then you have kavanah when you make the bracha on the talis gadol later that it will cover your talis katan. It's for married. No, just on Tisha Bav night, just on Tisha Bav night. Regular night, it's not a problem because you wear it in the morning. Okay? That's the tzitzis.
That's still a good question.
Yeah, what about the difference
The time difference.
between when you wake up and when you go to Shachris?
That's why if you do the Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach and you sleep with it
Always.
on, so then you don't need to make the bracha, so you don't have a tumult. Just in this case.
We're asking
we're
a
asking
regular
day then.
Regular day we're not talking about. We're just learning Halachos Tisha Bav right now. We're not talking about a regular day. We're just learning Halachos Tisha Bav.
Avram.
But what was I going to say? Someone did ask, though, that's not over here right now, that's married. Let's say you don't do this Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, meaning you don't sleep with your tzitzis on, and now you wake up in the morning. So should I make a bracha on the talis katan, or should I wait till mincha to make it on the talis gadol?
And it's a Zman thing? It's related to Zman?
Because it's a lot of zman in between. It's a lot of time in between that you're putting on a new talis katan without making a bracha on the talis gadol. That's what someone asked. It's not a pashta kasha. I looked around. I couldn't see anyone mefurish that brought that down because it has to be going on the Rosh Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. I did look around a little, but what did you guys do? What did you do? No bracha, right?
I just didn't make a bracha.
No bracha, right? You left it on. You did the you knew about the Rosh Shlomo Zalman?
So what you do?
Oh, very good. Kailul in Israel, very good.
You have an extra because you're married.
It's good stuff.
Good stuff. You made no bracha?
I didn't have mincha yet.
No, but on the talis katan, you make a bracha on the talis katan yet today? No. Okay, so it seems like a lot of them didn't make it on the talis katan. Should you make a bracha? Already now it's.
But again, the hefsek. Why do you have to worry if mincha is still covered within regular Zman?
What do you mean?
Like, what's considered a hefsek?
Because usually in a regular morning, you put it on a few hours. You put on your talis gadol at most, usually, when you wake up. But now you're not putting it on for many, many, many hours, and you're wearing a talis katan for many hours, especially if it's new.
So after chatos, let's say you don't daven mincha gedola, then would you make a bracha?
If you daven mincha katana, in this exact case,
Yeah, or did I make a
maybe if you daven mincha katana, it would be more of a reason to make a bracha on a talis katan. Also, it's only a yishamrim, but it is a yishamrim though. And the Mishnah Berurah is bringing it. Mishnah Berurah is bringing it. It's Mishnah Berurah is passing it like this. That if you were poshet your talis katan, you need to make a bracha. It's also not so simple because usually when you get married, you don't make a bracha at all on the talis katan. That's what. It's an interesting case. Okay, that's the hack with that. Okay, now let's see Sifkat and Gimel.
You told me this last night?
You should have, right. It's funny, this simon we should have already, when were we going to learn it last night? 1 a.m. after the kinos though, I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you guys were up for it, technically I would have. Right, we're crazy enough to have a chavura in the middle of Tisha Bav, right? So to say. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Okay, Sifkat and
We don't
Gimel.
have this question by tefilin though, right?
What about tefillin?
We don't have the same question by tefilin. We have to wait till mincha.
Make the bracha when you put it on.
Well, tefillin is because there's an avelus in the morning. That's why we don't do it.
We just said that was the reason for.
So if you use that
Talis
raya, then
gadol.
by mincha katana, then you could say a bracha on scissors.
Scissors is completely different than tefillin. Completely different. Yeah. Also because you have the talis katan. Similar, but it's different. These are good questions. They get answered. There's many answers. Okay, let's see Sifkat and Gimel b'mincha. On mincha, we put on the scissors and the tefillin. We make a bracha. Mincha shaz hitzisu eish b'mikdash. Then they set it on fire. They set the mikdash on fire, like the pasuk says in Eicha Perik Daled pasuk of Beis. Katam avonech. Your sin will be tam, will be completed. That which Hashem is going to pour his chamaso, pour his wrath on the trees, on the wood and on the stone. That's that in Vayesha. Remember, there are those that say, in order to show consolation with our mourning on that day. All of this, according to everyone, is just regarding tefillin. Because this is something that is dependent upon a mere custom. But all of the 5 inuyim, we do not cancel the entire day. Someone thought that you could start wearing leather shoes after chatzos. That's completely incorrect. Wearing leather shoes, all right, we have 5 inuyim, let's chazer them. Really, the Mishnah, then the last parak of Maseches Yuma lists them, but they apply over here. We learned them in the previous simon last year. Sif Aleph, you can't rechitza, you can't bathe, wash, sicha, anoint, nilas sandal, wearing leather shoes. You can't eat, of course, drink, and tashuv shamita, relations. You can't do those. Are the 5. So those for sure go the entire day. There's no split on these in Yana.
Really, it's just sitting. That's a big change, right?
There's a few changes from Chatzos and on, and we're going to learn with them in the upcoming simi.
From chatzos on, you can wash your hands or you can't.
Excuse me?
Yeah, they can
You
wash.
can wash your hands.
No. Washing is the same exact halachos. You can't.
Really?
Yes. For davening though, especially if me, I wash 3 times a day, every single davening, of course. So for that, you could wash if it's less than the knuckles for davening. You could wash over there. Or using the restroom.
You pass your knuckles.
No, not past the knuckles. Not past the knuckles. No. Not past the knuckles. Using the restrooms. Just time to wash your hands. You can't.
Hold on. So
On a regular talis, you could. This you can.
right, but when you do the knuckles,
Yeah.
can you then go like this, or you can't do that?
You want to rub them after.
Saying like,
It's brought down, if after you dry them on a towel. This is really a tangent from the simon we learned today at Sales Seder News. After you dry them on a towel, and if the liquid that remains on your hands aren't really tofei chamanat lahatpiach, it's really the geder b'davar. If it's not wet enough to make something else wet, it's just a little bit, you could,
Moist.
yeah, it's a little moist, so you could even rub it on your eyes to clear your eyes in the morning, or on other areas if really needed. But, this is a time there's mamash no physical. That's what it is. We take out all the gashmis. We clean our system out. We don't everything.
Where does learning come into the 5?
Where does learning? Learning does not come into the 5 inyanim. Learning comes into the pasuk which is quoted over there in Sif Al Pakudi Hashem Yisar Mesam Chileiv, the Gemara at the end of Tainus, that Limud Torah brings to Simcha. And this is a time that we don't want to have simcha. This is a time of avelis. So that's why we don't learn. Unless it's, unless it's certain inyanim that we're allowed to learn, which is a lot more than people think. I can't tell you how many people the past week or two have asked me, what are you learning on Tisha Bav? So finally, when the 4th or 5th person asked, I said, why does everyone keep asking me this? So then they said, because I want to know what we can learn. It's interesting that the people phrase it that way. What are you learning? They don't just say, what could we learn? But maybe what I'm learning, because there's only certain things, the interesting things. But Lamaisa, you could learn a lot on Tisha Bav. The whole Eicha, the Eicha Rabbah, the halachos of Tisha Bav, halachos of Avelis. Get in the sugya of Kamsa, Bar Kamsa, Moi Katan Eila Magalchin. We list there's tons. Parts of Eov. Can keep you busy a lot more than one day. Right? That's why I was up late last night learning. People are like, what do you get some sleep? It's a lot to learn. Even on Tisha Bav. Baruch Hashem. Okay, let's go weiter. Okay, Sif Katan Dalid, Dibor Hamaschel, Utfilin. Those that are regular to wear tefillin of Rabbeinu Tam, you also place the Rabbeinu Tam tefillin on now. Okay, Rabbeinu Tam we learned in Halachos tefillin over there. It's Rabbeinu Tam, we don't need to go into it. Most of us do not wear the Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. Okay, Sif Katan Hey, Umavarchan Aleim, you make the bracha on them. This is referring to a mincha on the tefillin, you make a bracha. Venira bracha is really we make 2 Ashkenazim based on the Ramah. Halachos tefillin siman chafei. Venira di yizahir shelo likros ata parshios kriyat shema v'chein parshas kadesh. And it appears that you should be careful not to recite right now the parsha of Shema and also the parsha of Kadesh. Dalo keisu rak kekoirei batarah. Because is it not true that right now at this time keis at this time it's just like you're reading psukim, and it would be a problem with Talmud Torah asar kol hayom. Learning is prohibited the entire day. That's that. That's Sif Aleph. Now it's brought, it's in Saf Kof Nun Dalid, Sif Dalid, that you could say the Seder Hayom. So that's why this morning we were able to say the Parsha of Tamid as Yom HaKoman, Rabbi Yishmael Omer, that's the Shulchan Aruch over there. But this is already not considered the Seder Hayom, apparently, and it would be a problem. Okay, so that's the inyanim. That's pretty much all of the halachas pertaining to tzitzis and tefillin on Tisha Bav. And that's short sif. Yeah? Okay, I think we pretty much covered everything on that. Now let's see the next sif. Let's see Sif Beis. This is going to talk about now the night of Tisha Bav, so we're working backwards kind of a little bit. Yesh mi shenoheg. There are those that have a custom, l'shachiv, belel, Tisha Bav, muta ala aretz. There are those that have the custom to lie down on the night of Tisha Bav. Muta is like tilted on the ground, or lying on the ground. What they do is they would actually go to sleep on an actual floor. Umasim even tachas rosha, and they would place a rock under their head. The rock would be instead of a pillow. I don't know if anyone has actually ever tried this, but if you have nothing and you're sleeping on the ground, a rock, and resting your head on a rock is more comfortable than just resting it on the stam ground. I know from camping trips. That's the only way I know. But it actually is more comfortable when your head is elevated. It's not just, right, there's a strong minhag for everyone in, so to say, our world, America, whatever you want to call it, not the third world countries, to elevate their head when they sleep. It didn't just come about that way. It's a lot more comfortable. So that's where the rock comes in. Now, why don't we sleep on the ground with the rock? So we'll see in a moment. But the Mishnah Berurah in Sifkat and Vav writes, "Va'adam chalosh ein tzarich lahachmir bazeh v'yishan al mita." Someone that is weak does not need to be stringent with this, and he could sleep directly on a bed, he or she. The Ramah adds, not just Stam, that we're considered an Adam Chalosh. The Ramah adds stronger why we don't do this. Back up top in the Ramah. And a person should pain himself regarding sleeping on the night of Tisha Bav. What does that mean? If you're regular to sleep with two karim, with two pillows, do not sleep ki'im except for one pillow. Nowadays, a lot of people sleep with two pillows, so then you could be lenient and sleep with one. This isn't even just a leniency that's coming from Achronim, like you see in the parentheses. This is Tosfos at the end of Maseches Tainis. This is already in Rishonim. They were already regular with this. Kol shekin bizmaninu, that one could rely on this. So the point is that you want to decrease how you usually sleep and make it less comfortable. So me personally, I always sleep with one pillow at night. It's my halach. You sleep with two? Okay.
Slept with one last night.
Okay, you slept with one last night. So I sleep with one. So that means that last night I didn't sleep with one. What I usually do is, I don't even know if this should be done. What I do is I take part of my blanket and I put it under my head.
Tisha Bav night.
On Tisha Bav night.
Because you want something.
Yeah, just to have something.
I tried no pill last night. I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do
The
it.
exact same
I did
thing.
it for like maybe 15 minutes.
When
I can't do this. I
You
got
can't do
Exactly.
it.
I was trying to go to sleep
So
15, 20
Yeah,
minutes.
I'm just gonna go to sleep.
I do two pillows, and last night I did one, and
Yeah, so
it
you did, right?
took me a longer time to fall asleep. It was annoying.
So what I do is I take my
Yeah, the blanket.
my, like
of
my
course.
palm of the hand, and I put my blanket on top of the palm, and I bend it behind
So
my head like this. I
creates
sleep
a-
like this with
So
with
you
my two
really
hands.
have
Like I
both.
clap my hands together.
Last night.
Kind
You're
of.
scheming
I put my two hands together, like clap them together. I sleep like this. My hands like this the whole night, and then I'll put a little bit of my blanket
So
on.
what do they say about that? Is
That's
that
what I
right?
do. It's definitely a lot more uncomfortable
Right,
than I'm
it's
used to
less-
sleeping with. I'm used to sleeping
the
with a
point.
nice, fluffy, feathery pillow, and now I've got this,
Hand.
these hands together.
Just the hand.
Yeah, this is my method. Everyone's got to use their mahalach, but if you mamish can't fall asleep, so you gotta you be samach on the blanket trick. It's still less comfortable. That's the pshat. Okay, let's go right in the Ramah.
What's mishkavo mean?
Lying down or sleeping. Yesh l'adam le'star bin mishkavo, yeah, and he's sleeping. Like b'shach b'cha. Okay, let's go right to the Ramah. V'neish b'nei adam masim min even tachas merosheim. They're those people that they place a rock under their head. Zeicher l'ma shenemar v'yikach me'avni hamakom. To remember that which is written, and he took from the rocks of the place. Shirah churban, that he saw the destruction. Who's this referring to? Good. It's referring to Yaakov. And the Gemara in Chulin, you do with the Medrash, it's quoted. Rashi brings it that the rocks coming together to make one rock, slept on a rock, and at that time he saw the Churban in the future, which was going to happen many years later. So the destruction. So that's why there's a big union with the rock. However, the Ramah adds for people over here whose wives just gave birth a few days ago, this is applicable. Mihu, ubros she'enan yecholim lehitztahar, enan chayavos bekolza. However, ubros,
Expecting new one?
those are they're carrying, right? The
Expecting
shorish of an ubros is an ubar. That's a fetus. So ubros, that they are not able to pain themselves, they are not obligated with all of this. And from this it will be similar. The Mishnah Berurah in Sifkat and Zayin writes, Mi ubros v'hu adin ba'adam chalush v'kaniz kalal. Same exact halacha applies with a weak person, like you mentioned earlier. So definitely avada, I would deduce a kal v'chomer from this. And I'm sure if we're ma'ayin more in Achronim, they would say this mafurish, that if someone just gave birth, especially 7 days ago, where they're not even fasting, right? They're not fasting. So Nevada and this Indian, if it's going to trouble them going to sleep, it wouldn't be a problem. It's a pasha to kavachomer if they don't have to fast and they don't have to really do this Indian if they can't handle it. That is similar to the fasting, even within 30 days. How many pillows last night? Right? No. Did your wife use a pillow?
I think she did it regular.
She did regular. Okay, so she could handle kol hakavod. Start. Right?
No. I mean like regular.
I said I don't know if it's a direct cup.
You're saying that
You don't want to say it's kavachomer? Meaning not eating could be detrimental. This can't. Okay. Kavachomer is a strong word. It might have been not the correct thing. Chaim, what did you want to say?
I have something that's off topic to this part.
Yeah.
I was wondering yesterday.
You know, let's wait till it finishes Shema. Can you hold it though? If it's
I'll
off
hold
topic. Okay, let's just finish the Shema just to get the shleimus over here. A person should diminish from his respect, honor, what he's used to, and from his pleasure on Tisha Bav, anything that is possible. To diminish should be diminished over here. And on this, the Mishnah Berurah writes in Sifkat and Ches, Mikavodu mehanaso, also la'ashen tutin. It is prohibited to smoke tobacco. Shkorin rikarin, Targum in number 2 teaches it as ishan, smoke. You can't smoke. Afilu bar betzomos, even on the 4 fasts. Kol shekein b'Tisha Bav, or the more so of Ada and Tisha Bav, it's going to be a problem. That's the Knesset HaGedola. V'hechmir ma'od at shekasav shemishim ha'ashem b'Tisha Bav hayarol l'nadoso. And he is very stringent. The Knesset HaGedola is very stringent until, and ad kedei kach, to the extent that he wrote, someone that smokes on Tisha Bav, it's fitting to put him in nidui, like excommunication. Or v'yishma achronim shemekilim, there are those achronim that are lenient with this. V'alkein misha dachok lo, someone that is pressed for it, someone that needs to smoke. Shemurgal bo b'yoser, that he's used to it, very much so. Someone that's addicted to cigarettes. Yesh lahachel, this is another din that you see achar chatzos. Yesh lahakel achar chatzos, b'tzina b'soich beiso. One could be lenient after halachic midday, in private, in his house. V'chein chasa b'shari tshuva simin safkof nun tes sifkat and dalid. Somebody the shari tshuva is going to write that in the upcoming Siman B'Mirza Hashem. So that's the case with smochim. What do you want to ask?
What are you supposed to do in terms of yesterday, brushing your teeth after Halachos? I didn't brush my teeth.
Okay, so this year, like Mirza Hashem, we're going to see it in the next Siman, which there are many different halachos, because this is a case of a nidcha. Tisha Bav was chalios b'Shabbos, again it got pushed off, and right now it's Sunday. So a lot of things are tricky. So one of them was yesterday. Yesterday about brushing teeth, so it's not so simple as brushing teeth on Shabbos in general.
For multiple reasons. Sometimes, yeah. And brushing your teeth in general, you can't really do if you have a kosher toothbrush and if you have the liquid, whatever. But I'm saying, even if you do have all that, how can you still brush on Shabbos because you're preparing for the fast?
Okay, so a few things. So we're not talking about brushing teeth right now on Shabbos. That's Hilchos Shabbos. Okay.
No, I'm talking about.
And especially because it's not nogei to right now because it was yesterday. But in that case, just because it does have to do with Hilchos Tisha Bav, so it is a problem, so to say, hachana. So to say, if you use mouthwash, unless you could just have it, and you don't say I'm doing this for the tightness, you just say I'm washing my mouth out just because.
It's drinking. People drink before, but you don't say I'm drinking in order to prepare for the fast. You drink and you can think that in your head that you're preparing. It's not.
Scheme.
It's not though, because the Suda that we had yesterday. That's why when we had it.
But it was Halachos, so it's fine.
It was Halachos, I know, but you have to be more with the point. Don't say, I'm going to eat so much and stuff myself so that I'm going to be so full tomorrow afternoon. Right. You can't say that. You could think it. That's what. Okay, so it's a similar zach. Yes, you got to be careful.
Why is it we don't sit on the floor?
Why what?
Why do you say we shouldn't sit on the floor? It's not what we should. It just says yesh.
If you could handle it.
Yeah.
If you could handle it. Yeah.
Why was this sif in dinei tefilin v'tzitzis?
Right. Why is this over here?
Why is this sif? What is this sif? Yeah. Why is
what is this doing over here? It's a good kasha. Like what's this? What does that have to do with tzitzis and tefillin?
It doesn't.
Where else are you gonna put it? Maybe this sif. Maybe you could put in some takanat. Really, minhagi Tisha Bav.
Sorry.
It's a good kasha. Let's speak out one note on this sif over here. This is what Reuven was already over to over here. That the Piskei Teshuvos brings in Osei that there are those that are medaktakin, there are those that are careful not to sleep on the bed. All what they do is manichin ha mizran. You might know this word from Israel. Ala aretz v'yashenim al gabeh mizran. They don't sleep directly on the bed. What they do is they take their mattress, they put their mattress on the floor, and then they sleep on the mattress. This is brought. Many achronim, I'm pretty sure in the Halachos Rabbeinu it's also brought. But then Hagos of the Stipler, Chazon Ish also. This is what they did, just to diminish it. Okay, if you could handle that price in the 6 Parakavos, Al Aretz Tishan, right? It's even the whole year. But if you could handle that on Tisha Bav, that's one thing. So if you can't, then you have room, so then you could put the mattress on the floor to also make it less comfortable. It's an Indian that's brought over here. Okay, that's the siman over here. Yeah, that's the siman over here. Any questions or comments on the siman at all? Yeah? Okay, so I want to break up the recordings. We'll break it up every siman. So we'll stop in the siman, we'll go right into the next. Okay.